Namaste, my name is Jyoti Thaya and welcome to Learning with JD. Hi guys, welcome back to Learning with JD. So let me give you a quick perspective of what we are going to cover today. People often come and ask me that, they always find it difficult to understand what is the difference between input and output and tools and techniques. So I thought that let me put down a specific session for you to understand, the basic concepts of input, output and tools and techniques. There are certain rules which are laid down in PMBOK Guide, the 6th edition. We'll see all of them. So what are we going to cover today? Some rules for handling inputs and outputs, some rules for handling tools and techniques. All right. So let's start with the fundamental rules. Now, what do you understand by the word input and what do you understand by the word output? Now, let's make it very, very simple. Okay, let's not complicate things. Input is nothing but any document. Any document which is required is a part of one process to create something and create an output. Output is also a document which is created with the help of input. Confused? No problem. Input is a document that you will require. So what are you doing? You are a project manager, you are in your office, you're sitting on the workstation and you're working on something. Now you need to create an output document. So for example, you want to prepare on the scope management plan. You need to understand that what are the basic components that you need. What are the existing documents which you already have as a project manager? You will refer those documents to create a scope management plan or to create a scope baseline. Okay. So while you are doing this activity, the documents that you take for your reference is an input document. And the document that you create after referring to those papers, some files, some data, you will work on them. And there will be some document that will be created. You take a printout of it, put it in the file, put it in the drawer. That's your output. So inputs are any document that are key to a process. It is an input, it comes, it's a document. Output should become an input to another project management process. For example, there is a document which you have created, but you have to refer it again and again. What are you going to do? You have to prepare a document, staple it, file it and keep it under the drawer. No, you're going to use it again and again, right? So every document is an input to some or the other process. Unless it is an output of a terminal output or embedded within another input such as the project document. Input should come from any output. Input should come from an output from another project management process unless the input comes from outside the project. The first document that is created is a project charter. What are the information that you will have for that for creation of a project charter? Who is the stakeholder? What impact will the project have on the stakeholders, on the organization as a whole? Now these are all the documents. First document which is created will have an input from outside of the project. All the other processes will have an input from within the process, from the project, from within the process. It will also have something from outside of the project. That is also a possibility. I am not denying that in between of the project, you will not have any other document that will be an input to the other projects outside of the project. But still, most of the processes will be from within the project. Got that? So let's revise. Input is what? A document that is needed. Output is a document that is created. Output will always be an input to some other project management process. Input should come from some other project management process unless it is an input that comes from outside the project. All right, please keep this in mind. This is basic rules for handling input and output. It is going to help you understand and join all your dots when you start studying for your PMP or your CAPM examination. Now, what are project documents rules? So from your planning perspective, there are two key documents that are created. One is the project management plan and second is the project document. We will see what are the project management plan, but project documents, when a specific project documents are listed for the first time, they are listed as a specific output. When a document is created, the name of that document is referred as the output. For example, a risk register is made. The output from that process group will have an output as risk register. But subsequently, when there are changes happening to that risk register, it will be added under the group of project document updates. All these small documents that are created throughout your project management lifecycle forms a part of the project document, unless if it is a part of the project management plan, and we will see what all comes under project management plan. Apart from what the components come into project management plan, everything else goes into project document. Everything else. Yeah. When any project document is an input, the term project document is listed and the specific project documents are described in the narration. If a risk register is required as an input, it will be mentioned as project document input. That is how the rule is for this PMBOK framework. Wherever, so let me revise. There is a document which is created, say risk registered. It identifies all the risks which you think may come for your project. You create that document. Now, when the first time when you create that document, the output is known as risk register. But whenever there is a change in the risk register, it will be known as project document update, because as risk register as an individual document, which is like a 2-pager document, will be a part of the project document file. While I teach PMP and CAPM, I try to explain this to to everybody in a very layman language. If you take it in a very simple manner, you should have 2 files and have 2 drawers in your cupboard. There is a left hand side drawer, there is a right hand side drawer. In your right hand side drawer, put the project management plan file, a nice thick box file. And in the in your left hand side drawer, put the project document file. Now all the documents that are part of the project management file will be in the right hand side drawer. All the documents that are part of the project documents will be in the part of the left hand side drawer. That is going to help you identify and understand what is the difference between a project document and a project management plan. Yeah. Coming to project management plan rules. Now, what are the rules for managing the project management plan? For those planning processes that create subsidiary plan, each and every knowledge area creates a subsidiary plan. There are 10 subsidiary plans which are a part of the project management plan. Your schedule management plan, scope management plan, cost management plan, risk management plan. Understand, project management plan gives you an understanding of how the work will be done. Has the work begun till yet? No. While you're preparing your project management plan, it only defines how it will be done. Who will be doing it? What is the time of doing it? How much are we going to spend on that? It only answers the question of how. The project charter is the first input and the project management plan is the second input. The process that creates component of the project management plan lists the component specifically. Whichever component that a process creates for a project management plan, it mentions that component specifically. For example, a process which is of say quality process, it creates a quality management plan. It mentions that component of quality management plan as a part of the project management list. Subsequently, the components are listed as project management plan updates in the output list. As we saw for project documents as well, where the first time the document is created, the output is of that particular document. But the moment that document has updates, it gets into project document update. Similarly, when a component is listed for the first time, the name of that component is specified. But whenever there are changes to that, It is known as project management plan updates in the output list. When the project management plan serves as the process input, specific component of the project management plan that may be considered. This is a very tricky question because while we talk about project documents, whenever it is an input, it is mentioned input as project document, and the narration and the name and the further explanation of that component is mentioned in the narration. However, when we talk about project management plan rule, and when project management plan serves as a process input, that specific component, assuming the quality management plan or the cost baseline, that will be considered instead of project management plan. Have to keep this in mind. Sequencing rules. Now, how are you going to sequence your inputs and outputs? If the project charter is an input, it will always be the first. Project charter, if it is an input, it will always be the first input. When the project management plan is an input or an output, the subsidiary management plans are listed in the order of the section in which they are produced as an output. Do you remember those sections that we discussed in the last session? I saw sir and cousins. Remember that sequence of knowledge area? So the subsidiary management plans are listed in the order of the sections where it is produced as an output. If the first one is scope, it will be scope management plan, schedule management plan, cost management plan, and so on. Yeah. Project documents are listed in alphabetical order. That is again a sequencing rule that is laid for handling inputs and outputs. Enterprise environmental factor and organization process asset are listed last in that order. It is always last in the order. Yeah. All right. When updates are as an output, this is the sequence. Always the project management plan update is the first sequence, project document update is the second, and organization process asset as the third in sequence. Now that's the update on the outputs. Now let's see what are the rules for handling tools and techniques. So what PMBOK 6th edition has done, it has grouped some of the commonly used tools and techniques by their intent, by the way of doing it. Okay, the tools and techniques are gathered majorly into top six categories. Apart from these 6 groups, there are 60 other ungrouped tools and techniques which are often used tools and techniques across your process management. Let's see all of them in detail. Data gathering. Now you will hear data gathering at n number of processes. What is the activity of that tool and technique? So guys, do you understand what a tool and technique is? We've spoken about what an input and output is. Right? Input is a document that you need to create another document which is an output. And the way you create your output is nothing but tool and technique. You may do data gathering, you may do data analysis, you may use some manual techniques, you may use some appropriate system related techniques. Yeah. So let's see what are data gathering. Used to collect data and information from a variety of sources. There are 9 data gathering tools and techniques. Now, all these 9 data gathering tools and techniques are grouped under data gathering. Now, what do you understand by data analysis? Used to organize, access, and evaluate data and information. You've got the data, you need to work on that data. Only raw data will not help, right? You have to come to a conclusion. Organizing and assessing and then evaluating the data is a part of data analysis. There are 27 data analysis tools and techniques which are a part of this data analysis as a whole group. Data representation. Now you got the data, you've worked on that data. Now you want to represent the data. Represent means you want to share it with somebody, right? You've analyzed it and now you want to share it. Now it is used to show graphic representation or other methods used to convey and inform data. any way you want to communicate to your stakeholders is a way of data representation. There are 15 data representation tools and techniques. Now you will be able to see all these tools and techniques in greater detail in your PMBOK 6th edition. As I told you at the beginning also, PMBOK 6th edition is extremely important from your examination perspective. Now decision making. You've got the data, you did some analysis, you've done data representation also. You need to do some decision making on that. So use to select a course of action. What is decision making? You need to take some action, right? Some course of action from different alternatives. There are 2 decision making tools and techniques. Next is communication skills. It is used to transfer information between stakeholders. There are again 2 methods of communication skills. It's a push and a pull method of communication. Interpersonal and team skills. Used to effectively lead and interact with team members and other stakeholders. There are 17 interpersonal and team skills, tools and techniques. 17. Yeah. Alright, so guys, that is it from my end for today's session. Please do like, share and comment on the video if you like it. Also subscribe to my channel to never miss a notification of all the videos I keep on uploading with regard to your certification. You can also go back on my channel and check out on the previous videos that I had uploaded that speaks about the role of the project manager, various process groups and knowledge areas. We've also spoken about introduction of PMBOK 6th edition. We've spoken about the environments in which the projects operate, deeper understanding on the EEFs and the OPS. All these videos are available there at Learning with JD. Go and check them out. In the next session, we are going to talk, we are going to start talking about the process group, the first process group, that is initiating. So till then, keep connecting, keep studying and all the best.